Syracuse City Board of Assessment Review. And my apologies, I was a little late this morning. It is about 9:10 a.m. And just as a reminder, these meetings are recorded and shown live on YouTube. And you can access them at a later date also. So with that, we'll take a roll call. My name is Joe Saya.
Straub.
Carl Masterful.
William Eppolito.
Bill Ryan.
Okay, thank you. And I think we have our first petitioner here. If you want to come on right up to the chairs here. Have a seat in either one. How are you? That's fine. Yep. Good morning.
Morning.
Again, my apologies for being a little late this morning. So if you could just slide this just a little bit closer to you, and then we'll pull her down a little bit. Okay. So it looks like you're here for 805 Highland Street.
Yes, I'm Priscilla Brown. I'm the owner at 805 Highland Street.
Okay. I'm going to swear you in, okay, and I'm also going to swear Tom in as well, being this the first hearing of the morning. So if you could just raise your right hand, Tom as well. State your name for the record.
Priscilla Brown.
Thomas Johnson.
Do you both affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability?
I do.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so let me just read this in and some numbers, and then I will turn it over to you. So again, this is 805 Highland Street, not Highland Ave. Is this is a residence? Is this a multi-unit?
Single family.
Single family. Okay, let me just note that. And I have a current tentative assessed value of $72,000 with a land value of $6,000. That would be a full market value of $138,462. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $80,769, and that would be an assessed value of $42,000 even. And let me just see if I can pull out of here. Okay, so looks like you purchased the property for $155,000 on August 4th of 2025. So last year
Yes.
was a contract sale of house, and it appraised for $156,000 on the appraisal services. I'm not sure what what's the name of the appraisal company? B something.
Find it.
If you haven't, you don't have to find it if you're going to give us a copy of the appraisal.
Okay. Yeah, I can. I mean, I don't have the whole appraisal, just, the
Okay,
important stuff.
okay, no, that's fine. Anything that you can provide, because all I have is the application at this point. So with that, let me turn it over to you. So you, just to reiterate, you paid $155,000. It appraised for $156,000, but you believe the market value should be $80,769. Okay.
Well, whatever it was at, I mean, because, I got the notice in the mail saying that it was going up $30,000, and I had only purchased the house 6 months ago, and then I came down here to inquire about why it had raised, and somebody down here told me that it was because of improvements to the house, and I'm trying to figure out what improvements. I mean, there's carpet through every room of the house. I mean, it's still cabinets from the 90s, the same dishwasher,
Do you know who you
stove.
spoke with?
I think I talked to you at one point, and then I talked to somebody else too, and she went in and looked at all the other houses on my block, and she said they're all still, your house is the only one that went up 30,000, and why those are still valued at 42,000 or whatever the value is. And I'm like, trying to figure out, because I'm looking at my street, and if you know where my street is, I have pictures of, houses that are right next to me, and, it kind of looks like a war zone, but
How did you arrive at the 155,000?
because I had to outbid somebody else. So they were originally selling it for 139, I believe,
Okay.
and I had to go over to beat out the other person. So I guess that's the only reason why it was appraised at that price, because I'm sure if it had, I had bought it at 139, it would have been valued at 140 or whatever,
I won't speak on that, but,
It
okay.
looked like it to, stay the same. And I mean, I have
Yeah, let's see what you
comparative,
have to submit.
the official grievance appeal letter, just, to try to keep it at where it's at. I don't know.
And, all right, so and just to confirm, it was at 42,000 assessed value, and then it was raised to 72,000. Okay. Tom, are you covering for somebody, or this
No,
is you?
No, this is my area.
Okay. I'll go to you in 1 second here.
And I'm like, I don't know how, I hear that, it's from, people riding by and looking at the house and assessing it. I'm like, how can they assess it more than actual appraiser? But, yeah, so that the official grievance letter, and then a financial impact summary of, so I guess it would be $994 a year extra, $83 a month, added on to my what I currently pay, and then comparative market analysis, just of other properties. Yeah, this is like two or three houses down from me.
How about a picture of your house?
I don't have it, just the ones like from the appraised. I mean, to be honest, my house does look the best of, the ones that are right there, but, I mean, I don't think I should be punished for that. That's,
No, you're not being punished, but you established market value by what you paid. I understand about, bidding up and that kind of thing. It's been that kind of market.
yeah, because that's all I really wanted to pay. I didn't want to have to go over, but,
No, I understand, but even at 139, it's much more than what the original, the prior assessment was at 80,000, market value at 80,769.
and I'm just wondering, like the other properties in the area that have sold for that price, did they also go up $30,000?
Well, I don't know about 30,000, but I'm going to zero in on that in a minute. Let me take, let me take this information, and I'll definitely take the appraisal also.
Okay, and this is just a couple pages, because it was like 50 pages. I don't want to bring the whole.
No, that's quite all right. What you brought, I can tell right here is what we're looking for. Let me say that I'm sure that Tom did a canvas of the whole area and not, did not single out your house. But let's get a little feedback from Tom at this point, then I'll come back to you.
No, we don't single out any particular property, but whenever there is a sale in the neighborhood, we review the assessments and we look at all of them. One of the things that happens is realtors, with putting these properties online, they put pictures of the inside of the house, which we don't have the advantage of knowing. And when we see a house that's over 50 years old, and I've got pictures of the inside of the house that shows, that the condition isn't, like I'd expect to see a 50-year-old plus house to be. And I looked at sales, and it's hard to argue that the house sold for $155, regardless of whether it was bid on or not, that it's only worth $80,000 now. But when I revalued the property, I revalued it at $134,000, which I thought was a more equitable figure. Now, one of the things that I'm willing to do, and this is for, Miss Brown, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. We don't look at anybody's ability to repay, to pay the taxes. But one of the things that I would like to do, if the board will allow her to amend her complaint, I can offer her a 485J, which would give you a 5-year exemption on half of the increase, and then the rest of it would be bought in over a period of 5 years with a 20% increase, so the financial impact won't be as great. But she has to agree, and the board has to allow her to amend her complaint as a late application for the exemption, and I've got the exemption application, with me.
We don't have any problem with that, trying to give some relief, if you will.
I don't know what that means. I think somebody at the office gave me that. Is that like a homestead?
No, we don't have homestead in New York, but the STAR application, which gives you, New York State will send you a check for about $350 or so once you apply, but you got to apply for that online.
I think I did already apply for
okay.
that, but,
So,
so what,
so you think you applied for the STAR,
I'm pretty sure I did,
and then,
but it hadn't went into effect yet, I don't think, because I only been there for 6 months, so.
okay.
Yeah, she'll get a check probably in the fall, I believe, depending on when you applied. If you applied during 2025, you'll get a check, later this year. This would kick in effective July 1st on the city and school tax portion of her bill only.
So what you're saying is it would only be half of what you said originally?
Right, the increase would be 15,000 instead of 30, but then the other 15,000 will be phased in over a 5-year period until the 6th year you get the full exemption.
So either that or wait and see what the board says about it, or?
Well, you can do both. You can apply for that and then wait and see what the board says. Because once the board makes their decision and you haven't applied, you can't apply for it. You're out of luck. See, this would only, I'm allowed some, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Well, that, I believe I received that from somebody else, but they said that, if you go to the board and, they deny it or whatever, then you can come back and put that in afterwards.
Whoever you spoke to, either you misunderstood them or they misinformed you. Because I'm the one that would have to say yay or nay. And normally it would go to the former owner, but the former owner fixed it up and they never applied for the permit. And that's a problem that we're seeing citywide, that houses are being renovated without building permits. That's when we know people have fixed up their houses. So giving you...
How did you know, like, just because it was sold?
Yeah. Well, when you see pictures online, realtors use it as a marketing tool. They want to make the house look good, make it available to everybody, so they take all these nice shots. I've seen, we had one famous case where the house had been totally renovated and no permit. And that's how we found out, because the realtor put all these pictures in and the house was from basement to the roof.
So let me interject for a second. So the asking price was $140,000.
139.
139,000. And then the prior owner obviously did some work.
Little bit of, not major
Okay.
things, I don't think. Because I
Okay.
still have to do, stuff if I can afford it, but
All right, so the point is that it shows well, and then, there was another party interested. It got up to bidding where, unfortunately, it went from 139 to 155. The appraisal came in at 156, so that was, obviously right where you purchased it. So if the appraiser didn't think that it was worth the 155 that you paid, and apparently thought it was worth 156, they would not have gone that high and allowed the bank to give you the money. Okay? So the appraiser apparently thought that the property was worth what you paid for it. All right. So with that, what Tom is saying is that you should fill out this 485J application, okay? And at least get the ball rolling to apply for it. And then my question is, if we did lower her assessment, would that figure into this?
Well, we would adjust
This.
the exemption
Right.
to be, just say you knocked off, just for argument's sake, $10,000.
Right.
So the increase would be $20,000. The exemption would be applicable to the $20,000. So it would be a $10,000 increase right now, and then the other
Okay.
$10,000 would be added
So
over
that would be
time.
your best option. I'm not saying we're going to do anything, but the point is that I think we got, there was 2 empties here.
There were 2 empties, but the next 2 are here.
Yeah, okay, all right.
There's a 10-minute.
Yeah, all right. Well, this is a little complicated.
Joe, let me say this, that right now, you would have to have her check off the box on her application, on her grievance application, to allow her as a late filing for the exemption. So there's one part in there for the denial of an exemption. She'd have to sign off on that and ask that that the exemption be considered. It should be, what, section on page 3?
Okay. Yeah. Well, before you mark anything.
No, I'm not going to mark anything.
Okay. How do you want to handle this? Do you want to,
I guess that would be the best course. If I can get it to no increase, then that would be good, but if,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be the only, then I would do that,
Yeah.
It would be under excessive assessment number 2. I'm willing to stipulate that I think the house is only worth 134, but I valued it at. One of the problems that we have with some of the appraisals, as a state certified appraiser, I can tell you that a lot of the appraisers that do them, they always have in the back of your mind that if you lowball a purchase price, you won't get any more work from that particular lender. I've had it happen to me when I used to do fee work. I'm not saying that this is what the person that did this particular appraisal did, but, the bank makes their loan based on just, does the value meet or exceed the purchase price and the credit worthiness of the borrower? Because I've been at both ends as an underwriter and as an appraiser, so I know how it works.
are you familiar with this stuff? If we sent her over to you for this denial of
Well, that's what the-
exemption?
Well, that's what it is, they don't say for a subsequent approval of an exemption, just, the denial. So she didn't apply for it, so it would have been denied, in that sense. But
Right.
we
Well-
use that particular category because that's the one that fits it.
So anyway, a little convoluted, but the suggestion is that your best bet's going to be to apply for the exemption. Let us take a look at everything. Tom has made a recommendation of 134,000. I'm sorry, 138,462. And so I can't speak today, but, you know, I believe that that's probably going to be, you know, your best option. You established market value at 155,000, so that's kind of tough for us to mess with, but it looks like everybody's going to try to do a little bit to right the situation, okay? So if that's the case, then you've got to cross off this and initial it, and then check off box number 2 and initial it. Okay? That's on your application. So cross off your check mark, initial that, and then check off box number 2, and then initial that. Okay?
And as you go over to the right side of the page,
Yep.
it'll say denial of, you write in 485J.
Okay, and that's across from number 2.
Yeah,
So
5J,
just put,
485J.
48.
okay, that's okay?
Yeah.
And I'll have her initial that as well. Okay, all right. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you to go over to, just because we've got some other people waiting.
There's, excuse me, those are the comparable sales that I use.
Okay, I'm gonna hand you one thing. Just go over to Michelle. This is her folder, and then could you just tell her what to do with this? It's just filling it out, and I
The
guess
best thing would
submitting
be
it
for her to go
downstairs.
downstairs.
Downstairs, okay.
She won't know the completion date because she didn't do the work, but we'll, I'll waive that.
Okay. All right. So what do we got, 9:30? We're still on time. Okay, I've got 853 Emerson Ave as the next property. Okay, if you want to come on up here. Good morning, how are you?
Well, first time here, I have no idea what's going on, so.
Oh, that's all right. People have said we don't know what's going on either, but
Yeah,
that's
well,
all right, that's all
I
right.
won't say anymore.
That's all right. So you're here for one property, 853 Emerson Ave?
Yes.
Okay, so let me swear you in, I'm gonna read some information in, and then we'll help you through it,
All right.
okay? If you could raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Richard J. Goldman?
Do you affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability?
Yes.
Okay, very good, thank you. All right, once again, 853 Emerson Avenue. I've got the application in here. This is so is it your mom passed away?
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that. You are the son, you are not the owner. Okay, so it's still part of the estate?
Yes, well, I'm handicapped, that's why I was able to stay there.
Okay.
But
Okay,
as
fair
far
enough.
as, the paperwork for, circuits court or anything, I haven't done any of that.
Okay, all right, let's hold that thought just for a second. So is this a single-family house?
I'm the only person that lives there, and in my entire life I've lived there, and it's always been one family living there. It's 2 floors.
But it's not 2 apartments or anything, it's a
No,
single
no,
family?
it's one big house,
Okay, all right,
upstairs and downstairs.
okay, very good. Okay, we have a current tentative assessed value of $56,000 with a land value of $6,900. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $25,000, and that would be an assessed value of $13,000. And the full value on 56,000 is 107,692, $107,692. Okay. Now, when did your mom pass away?
Oh, a couple years ago.
So your mother passed away a couple years ago, and you haven't done anything as far as paperwork's concerned?
No.
Okay. I'm assuming you don't have an attorney?
No. I just came down because the only house that sold in my neighborhood was next door, and that just sold a couple years ago for $25,000.
Was this an increase? No?
Oh, that's been similarly about the same, Before she was getting the deduction, so,
Okay, so this is a senior exemption issue?
my mother was getting that before. I'm not.
Okay. And how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 60, I'll be 68.
What is the
months.
age on the senior exemption? Okay.
But it's
actually,
not my name or anything, so.
right, exactly. So that's the first problem. So there's not a lot that, are you going to go through with the paperwork to get it in your name?
I did call up the Syracuse Core, and they're sending me up. I got a problem with the post office. I'm not getting mail there. So I got a P.O. box out of town where I get my mail at. So I have to be able to, with the weather lately, I haven't been out there to get the paperwork. So eventually I will take care of it.
Okay. Okay. So I guess, so this wasn't an increase.
I'm sympathetic with this situation, but he has no standing. He's not the owner of the property.
Right.
And until the estate is settled and somebody has actual ownership, and my understanding, this isn't my area, it's the commissioner's area, so I'm covering for him. But that he doesn't have standing because he's not the owner. And to get the seniors, he'd have to own the property for at least 1 year before he can apply.
Is this your signature?
Yes, it is. What's left of it.
And you can refer to the corp counsel for the official ruling, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, he couldn't even apply
Right.
for the grievance.
Right, technically. Okay. There's not a lot that we can do here. You've got to go through the processes to get the property in your name, and you're saying that Syracuse Court is sending you.
Yeah, I don't leave the house when I got agoraphobia. It's kind of like I had anxiety attached just coming down here and everything. So,
Okay, all right. Well,
but I made it here. I parked down the street and I realized it didn't took this long to walk here and everything from where I parked the car.
okay. Yeah.
With my budget and everything else, every quarter counts.
Is there any, John, Meg, is there any free legal services that we could point him in the direction of to try to Hiscox Legal Aid?
Or
Is
maybe the Syracuse University Law Clinic.
Can we get him some contact information? Okay, all right. I think that would be
Because
good.
I've
You
used
definitely need some
Hitchcock.
guidance.
I've been there maybe 20, 30 years ago, and I didn't know if there were any of them places even left anymore.
Yeah, well, this would be a good option, and I appreciate your issues, right? But if you can do what you did today and try to get started, that would definitely help. Our hands are tied because I
Well,
understand that you're.
Primarily, I want to come down and see what
Yeah,
was happening here and everything, so I'm not totally ignorant next time I come down,
okay,
you know?
You know, Ken, I do have to mention too that because we were never notified of the death, they got the senior citizens exemption for a couple years, which they weren't entitled to, you know, which I don't know what legal principle, I don't think the city will go back to try to get those taxes, but that's a whole nother scenario.
yeah, yeah. What did the exemption amount to?
Well, it would have been 50%, and I don't know what the, you know, what the actual tax would have been, but it would have been half. If they paid $1,000 in property taxes because of the senior citizen, it was 50%. That would be $2,000 in property taxes, and somebody applied in her name.
Yeah. Yep. Are the taxes current?
As far as I know, they are.
Are you paying the taxes?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yep, I get it, I get it. All right, so, so, our hands are tied, there's nothing we can do with the assessment, you know, based on the fact that you're not the owner.
Yeah.
But, we're gonna supply you with some information for the Hiscock Legal Aid Society. And I believe those are free legal services. I don't know exactly what the situation is, but you definitely want to call them and set up an appointment to go wherever they are locally and explain the situation. What I would do is, when do you expect to receive the paperwork from Surrogates
Well,
Court?
as soon as I make it out, you know,
Oh, okay, it might be in your mailbox.
Well, it's in the mail out to my P.O. box.
Right,
It's
which is
out of
where?
town. It's in Madison County.
Okay. Why
Okay,
don't you get a
so-
local P.O. box?
Because they cost about 5 times more.
And
And, and my
But the
local,
P- between the
my local
gas and-
post office is the one I'm fighting with, you know, because, you know, I've lived in this house since I've been, 5 years old. Okay, for over 60 years. Had one mailman from the early 60s until, the 80s, and then from the 80s till a couple years ago. Then a couple years ago, all of a sudden, you know, you got these, new postal workers, I'll just say, with a, you know, so sometimes I would get my mail, sometimes I'd get some other people's mail, I'd go deliver other people's mail. So finally I get sick and tired of this because I didn't get my water bill from here, I didn't get notifications about credit cards and this and that, and so I went down to complain. So they quit delivering my mail totally. You know, so it was a safety issue, right? So then I went down to pick up my mail, there's no mail there. Girl started screaming at me, and this went on and everything. So, you know, why would I go get a P.O. box
No,
in this post office that
understand.
is, you know, totally worthless?
I understand. All right, let's see what Meg's got.
Yeah, I just have 3 numbers here. These are usually what we give to the
Okay.
law department. So there's Hiscock Legal Aid, try them first. There's also
Okay.
a lawyer referral service, and then
This
legal
is-
services of CNY.
There's one for SU too, or no?
No, none of those are through us too. I mean,
What's-
they have legal clinics that the law students work for, but
Yeah.
your best bet is probably one of those. But like
Okay.
I said, I would try Hiscock Legal Aid
Okay.
first.
Are they, where are they still on, last I knew they were on Warren Street?
They are still there.
Are they still there?
They are.
Okay, all right. So what I would do is try to get out to your P.O. box,
Okay.
get the surrogate court information, and maybe simultaneously call one of those two.
Because they said I had to
Or
go
3.
down and get the death certificate too and
Yeah,
everything.
you're gonna
and-
have to do all that.
all this, and like I said, I don't like leaving the house, and today was enough for me today, because I was thinking maybe today I'll go out to the P.O. box and
Was the-
everything,
was
but
the,
I'm not,
Okay. Was the exemption canceled? Yeah, okay, maybe that, and that's why he's coming in, probably. Okay, so there isn't any more exemption.
okay,
And again, there's nothing we can do until the property, so you know, you've got some things you got to do.
Okay. All righty.
All right?
We done here?
We're done.
Okay.
Yes, appreciate you coming in. The city will send you a notice first week of April.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, but thank you for coming down. Yes, I appreciate it. Good luck, and definitely follow through, though, because it's not going to go away. And once you get it in your name, then you can reapply for the exemption. So, there's no reason why, you want to pay more taxes.
Yeah, like I said, I live on like $1,000 a month and.
Yes,
This
no,
day and age, it
that's
just
right.
doesn't
No, that's right. So this is the best for you, but you gotta follow through.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, sir, 5105 Skyline Drive rear. How are you? Okay,
We'll hold you to it.
well,
It's not as complicated
the
as.
first two have not been simple.
No, it should be.
Good. Okay, 5105 Skyline Drive rear. So let me swear you in if I could, and thank you. State your name for the record.
Oh, Mulholland?
Do you affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability? Okay, thank you. Okay, so what we have here is 5105 Skyline Drive rear. So I'm guessing you own 5105 Skyline Drive. All right, so let's start there. Let me read some numbers in, and it sounds like this piece would be behind it. It's an attached parcel. This looks like my writing. Oh, did we read this in, Michelle, before? Did you have a previous time set?
I did. They had wrote, Michelle called me. They had me scheduled for the 10th, but they actually wrote the 11th on the thing.
Oh, I see.
So I didn't show up, and then
Okay, all right. No,
she
that's fine.
rescheduled for today.
Very good. So let me reread it in. Once again, 5105 Skyline Drive rear. We have a current tentative assessed value of $300 with a land value of $300. The equatable market value would be $577. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $174, and that would be an assessed value of $90. Okay, so if you want to just explain the situation.
So this 1,800 square foot of property is in the rear of my property. It's within the city boundary line. The rest of my house is in the town of Onondaga. This parcel, I believe, has a right-of-way from Dorwin Ave. If you're familiar with the valley, coming up Dorwin, then you would come across, you across several properties. My complaint is, I don't think it's big enough to ever put anything on, number one. My biggest complaint is not really the taxes. My complaint is the assessment that's going forward. The major complaint is sidewalk fee. $80 this year. I paid $20 last. I used to laugh about it. I get a tax bill for $1.02 for a property and $1.64 for school taxes for the last 20 years. Then all of a sudden it went up $20 for a sidewalk fee. I've been told you can't do nothing about the sidewalk fee, that doesn't fall in your realm. My complaint is there's obviously no sidewalk. It's in the middle of the woods in the Rand track parcel, kind of. $20, 2003, 2004, $40, $60, $80 this year. Now it's going to go to $100. They're telling me next year. Property to have to pay that kind of money on something that is you're going to assess to $300 seems ridiculous to me. That's where I stand.
Okay.
And even you know, the increase on the property seems a little outrageous to me to almost triple it from $100 to $300. Again, I've always laughed off the tax is, to everybody. I'm like, oh, I pay $1 in the city and, get nothing for it. I've tried to get swim lessons. I've tried to get trash pickup. I've tried to get different things, but of course you won't. But $100 sidewalk fees is starting to get, doesn't make any sense.
All right.
to me.
Have you thought about combining the properties?
I have. I had to do that at another property that I have up in the town of Amboy. That process, I mean, can you do that here?
Okay, can we?
I thought.
Not here, he has to go through a formal re-subdivision.
Yeah, which I did, little paperwork and what have you, but I think that's the way to go.
Just attach that property to the.
Yeah,
and
and
not-
then
and
you're not
that'll
paying 2
exempt me
sidewalk
from-
fees and the whole bit. Now it's all one.
That's.
It's a re-subdivision.
That was going to be one of my questions, because I got a camp up in the town of Amboy, and I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I attached properties, and it saved me like $500.
Yeah, I think that would
House
be,
isn't in the city, right?
No, my house in the town of Onondaga. I paid West Hill School District taxes and,
but that still
county-
can be done, right?
county taxes.
Yeah.
We'll have to get a
So-
new survey and.
It'll be, some upfront money, but it's not going to be astronomical, and then you put it to bed. I think that's the way to go. What should he do?
My house is located in the town of Onondaga.
Then you can't combine them. No. I thought the house was in the city. No.
You thought the house was in the city?
Yeah, that's why I said you
Along
could
with the
be- yeah,
lot?
Right, yeah.
Okay. But the lot is in the town of Geddes? Town of Onondaga. And so a resub is not an option because of the differences. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
As a point of interest, all of those rear parcels, the assessor did increase them all to a $300 assessed value. I wasn't aware that a rear parcel would have to pay a sidewalk fee, and maybe that's something that needs to be looked into, but it's not our department that would
I
make
think
that.
somebody else came in with this same type of issue, and Michelle, you said something about common counselor.
It might have been me.
It was another.
It was another person, but that would be another option, maybe to try to take it up with them.
So, with that being said, I did reach out to my common counselor, the office, haven't heard nothing back from anybody yet. Is that the meeting tomorrow? That's like a general meeting for common counselor? Can anyone show up to that to state your case?
Talk about study session.
Yes.
So, anybody that is open to the public, it's not,
Can't
the
talk.
public speeches or speaks at it, but, I mean, that doesn't mean that you can.
Well, I was
You
gonna
talk-
say-
You talk to the common counselor for that area on a one-on-one basis, and
Yeah.
then they'll proceed through whatever steps. Maybe they would talk to the administration to see if they need to redefine that legislation to exclude rear parcels, because, to me, it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense, but I'm not the one that has to make that choice.
I just thought this was a place to start.
Yeah.
No, that's good. The other thing is, before you leave here, is somebody manning the common council office during the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could pop right in there and leave a, yeah. Is that on this floor?
Yeah.
It is, yes,
Okay.
just past the balance.
Yeah, I called them not too long ago, and they said Corey Williams was my counselor. Then when I went on to the website and looked at all the tracks, it looks like Patrona Jones might be actually have that little snippet of property area, so.
All right, I would definitely, it's on this floor. If you come out of here and take a right and go all the way to the end near the stairwell, that's the common council office. Just knock on that door and say, hey, here's the situation. I'd like to leave a message, for the correct person to call me back.
Okay.
And I would definitely attack it that way. Unfortunately, you can't subdivide it, so I apologize for that.
No, that's fine. I was thinking that because I have done that before.
Yeah. Right, but again,
Yeah.
different municipalities, I get it. And, I guess,
Does it make sense what I'm asking?
Worst they could tell you is no.
Yeah.
Worst they could tell you is no.
No, it definitely makes sense, no question about it. I'm not,
Because my neighbor, elderly, he's just not gonna pay it, and, he says, well, come seize my property. I don't wanna
No,
get
they-
it, I don't wanna get it down
Not,
that.
no, we're not gonna take a rear parcel.
yeah, I was gonna say, that, you could get into a situation where you just don't pay it,
Try to do things.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and that's good.
So as far as the assessment, you won't lower the assessment anyway. I don't, and again,
No, not necessarily. We're still gonna take a look at it.
Okay.
And the city will still send you a notice first week of April. We'll dig in a little bit more, get a little more feedback from Tom. Or who was the assessor on this one here?
I believe it's the commissioner.
Matt?
Yeah.
Okay, all
We
right.
can't do anything about the sidewalk.
right,
No,
they-
no,
they-
no,
they-
no.
Yeah, they made that clear when I filled out the.
No, we'll check in with Matt, and, is he back?
I believe he is. He's
Okay.
still recovering.
All right.
But I think he is back.
Okay, so we'll check with Matt as far as to just get a little feedback on why all these were raised.
Yeah, I mean, and again, going to $100 on a rear property where there's not a sidewalk within
You have a very valid
8
argument.
miles.
Yeah,
Well, the taxes aren't gonna go up $100. They'll probably go up $8 a year.
yeah, based on the assessed value. So, yeah, so it's not, where you're gonna be paying another $100.
Oh, no, the sidewalk fee, if I don't lose that, is going up to $100 next year.
Oh,
Okay.
So it's not the tax that you're mad at.
The
it's
tax,
sidewalk.
the
Well,
tax I
that's-
kinda laugh at.
Yeah, the sidewalk fee goes.
But $10, yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, the tax, I was gonna do a quick snippet and almost go to the audit office and say, really?
So this was something that
By the
took
time you
place
go,
and it's
I waste
automatically
everybody's
going up over how
Postage,
many year
the
period?
postage return in
Of
my
course.
check,
Just curious.
it probably costs $20 to process, to
collect
get
it, too.
$2 back.
This is the initial ordinance, this is the final year.
Here's my most recent one. That's what I paid in the taxes circled, and that's the sidewalk fee.
Yep, I see that. Yeah,
You can see where it started, there was $60. There was this one here. There's $40, there's $20,
Yeah.
And
It capped, though.
at 100,
based on the current list.
until,
If there's, yes, if there's any.
until it doesn't.
Until it becomes uncapped.
So, yeah, that was just my complaint, that $100.
Absolutely.
on
Hey,
a
we're on the same side as far as
$300
that's concerned.
assessment is,
We continue to have to do more with less.
yeah.
When does it stop?
Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming in. City will send you a notice first week in April. City will send you a notice first week in April. Okay, thank you. Joe, how are you, sir?
Good, how are you guys?
Good. And I got a question for you when we're done. Thank you. Joe, when the petitioner comes up, I'll swear you in as well.
Yep.
Okay, ma'am, we're all set for you.
Thank you.
How are you? Good. Do you know Bill? No. Oh,
I just saw the name on the sheet. I had 50-50
I was gonna hold it against you. Okay, that's fine.
Assessment
Well,
board.
we're the independent board. Yeah, and we're gonna move that, thank you. So we have somebody that represents the city, okay? And then we're an independent board. So we represent ourselves, we listen to what you have to say in the city and then make our own decision. Okay, so if you can just push that a little bit closer to you. All right. And so you're here for one property, 141 Shotwell Park.
Yes.
Okay, all right, very good. So let me swear you in. If you can raise your right hand for the record. Joe, state your name for the record.
Diana Clayton.
Joseph Lesno.
Okay. You both affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability? Okay, very
I do.
good. All right, let me just read some information in, and then we'll take it from there. So this, again, is 141 Shotwell Park, and it looks like we read this in also. So we'll read it in again. We've got a current tentative assessed value of $114,000 with a land value of $16,200. That would be a full market value of $219,231. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $193,700, and that would be an equatable assessed value of $100,724. Let me see if I can just pull some information out of here. Okay, so it looks like you purchased the property for $185,000 on June 16th of 2025. Sound about right, okay. Was it on the market? Was it listed for
It's a
sale?
private sale.
It was a private sale?
Yes.
Okay. And who was the seller?
Avni Jai.
Oh, Avni?
Avni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his last name
Yep.
either, but we're familiar with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so private sale. How did you hear about the property?
Avni is an acquaintance of mine, and I was looking. I was in the
Okay.
market myself. And I just asked him if he had anything available or coming up, and he said, sure do. And I had a couple of properties, and he had a couple of offers on the house, and I offered him 185, and he took it. So
Okay, I've got a picture of the house that I think you supplied.
yep, so I added my house first, all the information that I have on that. That's just your Zillow.
Okay.
And then I added, I believe, 3 comparables that were recently sold with the same specs.
Okay. Hillsdale, Lillian, Hillsdale, Hickok. Hickok more comparable, but okay. And we've got some comp information. Okay, what can you tell us about the house, your house?
What would you like to know?
Any recent updates? What did
Okay,
what did he
so-
do?
Avni fixed some of the exterior foundation because had some major cracks and crumbling. He did a lot of foundation work to the exterior so that I had to get approval from the bank. So there's a few things. The inside of the home had been vacant for 4 years before he took possession of the property. So I believe the pipes burst on the inside of the home. There was significant damage to the ceiling and walls. So he went in and redid some of the plumbing.
So I'm sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. The house was vacant for 4 years?
4 years before I moved into it, yes.
And was this a
Neighborhood review.
foreclosure?
Oh, the sale?
Yes.
Well, when
first
he-
sale?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a referee's deed.
Okay, to Agni, and then he
And to me.
did some rehab and,
Just very little.
2 months prior to her purchasing it.
oh,
The previous owner only had it for 2 months.
oh, okay. So he did some basic stuff that absolutely needed to be done.
He put a new electric panel on because
Okay.
it was, I don't know, it needed to be done. It wouldn't have passed for for me to get my loan, for me
Yeah.
to get my mortgage. So he put a new panel on, and he did a lot of foundation work and fixed some plumbing. I would say some. I've had to go in and do all the new fixtures. But this house was, if I had just purchased it from him and he didn't do any of the work, it would not have been approved for a loan. So there was so we got it, you know.
So he,
We got the bare minimum on that, so we were able to get it financed.
The kitchen and baths, still old style?
All
Okay.
old style, yes. It hasn't
Okay.
been updated I'm not sure, maybe the 50s or 60s.
What's the square footage?
17.5, I believe it's right there on the Zillow there,
1712.
1712.
1712
Yeah.
and old style. How many
Old
bedrooms?
style, 4.
4 bedrooms.
4, yep.
How many baths?
1.5,
1.5.
yes.
Half down, one up.
Yep,
Full attic, full basement.
yes.
Old kitchen, old baths. Okay. Was this, Joe, was this an increase,
It was a neighborhood review.
neighborhood review? Okay. And 219, and you paid the 185, I think.
Yep, 185.
185, okay. Okay. Joe, anything you want to add? I'll come back to you, but.
This is my first time doing this, so I just wanted to ask a few questions to get a better understanding of what we're doing here. So I see that the full market value is based on, is 219,231. I wanted to see how they get that number.
All right.
The full market, the full market value is based on the level of assessment that the city is currently at, which is based on an analysis done by the state. So the state every year analyzes our assessment roll, and based on our level of assessment as it relates to the current market conditions, they determine our level of assessment. It's currently, for the coming year, it's going to be 52%. Last year, it was 57.5%. And over the last 11 years, it's gone down from 85%, I think, when I started with the city, to 52. So it's just an analysis of our level of assessment.
And I
So
think
I-
where you're going is,
I guess what I'm saying is, so I understand the 52 and the 57, I don't know, but
Right.
where is the 219
words-
coming from?
Right.
Is it just a random number based on
It's
sales?
if you were to divide 52% into the 114, you would arrive at the 219, 231.
Okay, so it's not like you think my home was worth 219.
Yes, that's what we're
Okay.
saying. That's what we're saying.
That is what he's saying.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you sold your house today, you could get 219.
Yeah, that's what,
his opinion.
I think that's what full market value is, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right. It's just it's a representation of our assessment based on the level of assessment.
I gotcha.
all right, so now how does he arrive at 219?
Right.
Is what you want to know.
Pretty much,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so.
Current sales.
Current
in-
sales?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I assume you have some that you want to
Yes.
supply? Okay. All right, subject property 185. Got Hickok on here. Hillsdale, some of the comps that, and then it's a plus and minus type thing. And also taking into consideration, Joe, that it wasn't on the open market.
Right.
Okay. So he used some of the same comps that you used, and you definitely can view those if you want. Yours is on the left-hand side, and then you work your way over. So they're not exact comparisons, but then he does, as an appraiser does, the pluses and minuses, and he feels that your house is worth $219,231. So we'll take what you've submitted as well as what he submitted, and then we'll make our own decision. And it could be, the 219,231, but we'll dig into the comps of what you've supplied as well as the city assessor, and then we'll make a decision from there.
Okay.
I guess my last question for you is, were you aware of the condition, or did you?
Unless we're told otherwise, we assume typical condition.
And do you think she's in typical condition?
I'm not aware. I haven't.
Okay.
I mean,
I guess my question is, do you,
I mean,
based on
the sales that I've seen of current houses up there, the low end would be 190s to upwards of 250 for that type of house. So in that range is typically what things are selling for based on all the factors that go into a sale.
not requiring, but do you think you should take a walkthrough?
No.
Okay. So based on the information you have, do you have any pictures or anything of the,
I didn't print any. I do have some.
can you submit those?
Sure. Where would you like me to submit them?
Yeah. They can be emailed? Yeah. Michelle will give you the email. If you could submit those by this Friday,
Yeah.
all right? And if it's by email and you have them, just want to see the condition of the, everything but kitchens and baths type thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've got some pictures, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to get, it's a full rehab. It's, again, livable, and I'm living in it, but it's going to take a lot of money, and I have a large mortgage, and I have to put a lot more money into it to make it. All of these houses that go on the market, they're ready to be sold. They're nice, they're nicer. The reason I got this house for so cheap is because it was a rehab property. It's not been renovated. There's a lot of problems with it, so I just want to, take that into consideration for, the comps that are there. Those are houses that have been painted and rehabbed, and they're nice. My house is definitely a fixer-upper, so.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out, if this house were to sell on the open market, in order for the seller to receive the same amount of money, the house would have to be listed for over $200,000 in order for the seller to receive the same 185.
Yep. Aware of that, and that take into consideration that it wasn't on the open market and subject to overbidding and so on and so forth. Okay, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, so I just had a question. So level of assessment's going down to, it's at 52, right?
52%, that's right.
Right, so 2% on the full market value. So in 2025, the full market value was at 187 of this house, and then it shot up to 219. So again, is that just based on rerunning the numbers of sales?
Based on two things: moving, the assessment was increased, and the level of assessment was changed. So it was, every year we analyze our residential neighborhoods. We have about 50 or so, give or take, in the city. And based on that analysis, we determine which areas are appreciating faster than others, and that's where we focus our attention. So it's just the nature of Eastwood appreciating faster than the rest of the city, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's always going to happen because that's a nice straight.
You're on a great street, no
Well,
question about it.
It's, where I used to live in the valley, it's really on Oakley Drive. Beautiful, wonderful, homes just like Shotwell, and there's no increased assessment on that street this year, this year. So I've been asking, have you got a letter in the mail? Have you got a letter in the mail? No, I haven't. Nobody's got a letter in the mail for their assessment on that street,
On what street?
East Oakley Drive. That's in the South Valley.
Okay, yeah. Well, they'll look at, that area may not, I don't know when the last time it was looked at, but, every 2-3 years, each area gets touched on. So it's very possible that did not get looked at this past year.
Yeah, it just looks like, particularly just going through the tax history on my street and for this house, it looked like it changed from 24 to 25, and now again from 25 to 26. And we're looking at, let's see, about a $33,000 increase in 1 year. And then it was the same from 24 to 25. It was like a significant, I think it was assessed at like 86,000 or 80,000 something in 2024. And then once shot up to 108 before I obviously took possession of the property. So no one was there to grieve that assessment. And then now it's going up again to 6,000 in just 1 year. So I just was unsure of, why it's increasing so much over a 2 or 3 year period, and then the rest of the city is not.
I think you've looked at Eastwood the last few years.
I mean, Eastwood, since COVID, essentially, has probably been the fastest appreciating neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't have the exact numbers, but it's up there, which is reflective of why it's been reviewed twice in the last 5 years.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's, there's no rhyme or reason. It's the activity that's taken place in the neighborhood, and not that it's targeted more frequently, but there's been a lot of activity in Eastwood over the last several years.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a nice neighborhood. And then I saw here on this assessment equity information, I just did a little bit of, just looking around like the Department of Taxation and Finance website, that in the city of Syracuse, the data and estimate type is sales only for residential. So if I bought it for 185, I mean, is that taken into consideration based on what I actually paid for it versus what everyone else around me is selling for?
I think it's really, there's no targeting going on. It's pretty much,
Are you asking, should your assessment be based on your selling price?
Yeah, it looks like it says.
No, we don't. One sale doesn't make a market, and particularly sales that are off market aren't considered in our analysis when we're determining assessments. So it would only be markets, or the sales that we would look at in determining your assessment would be sales that were listed on the open market with buyer and seller that don't know each other, that aren't sales that are historically influenced. So when I say that, I mean like estate sales. We don't include those. So there's a whole number of types of sales that we don't include. So the sales that we do include, we call them arm's length transactions. The buyer and seller don't know each other. They're on the market, available to anyone to purchase. Those are the sales that we base our analysis off of.
Okay. So send some pictures over your way.
yes, please.
Okay.
And any other questions?
Would it be worth it to like maybe get my own assessment?
Would it be worth it to do what?
Sometimes people get their house assessed for, mortgage or refinancing or whatever. Like, would it be worth it for me to get something like that done and submit?
I don't think you'll be able to get it done in time this year.
Yeah.
So I would say probably to that. I mean, we have a fair amount of information that you supplied. Under the time constraints, I don't think I would worry about that this year.
Okay.
We'll go off of the comps you supplied and also the city and then the pictures.
Okay.
But if for some reason the assessment gets raised again next year, then, you may want to have an actual appraisal done.
Sounds good. And does the assessment normally get, you said 2 to 3 years, but based on the history of this house, it's been every year. So would that typically happen again? Like, is there a chance it can get raised again next year?
Say again?
Is there a chance that it would go up again in 2027?
There's always a chance, but I think the city's cognizant of prior year's increases, so, you know, I can't speak for the city.
Yeah.
But if your assessment went up 2 years ago and a year ago, or last year, this year, you know, again, I can't speak for the city.
Yeah.
But
I just was like
they're
looking,
not-
trying to
they're-
look forward to see, or look ahead to see what's to be expected with this house, living in this neighborhood, dealing with this assessment thing, with the taxes increasing, and all of that. Yeah. I just don't want to be priced out of my own home, that's all.
Exactly. Understood.
Yeah.
Again, it's based on market conditions and the activity that takes place over 2026 here as to if another look is warranted. Make sense?
Right. I just want to point out, our job isn't to generate revenue. Our job is to equitably disperse the levy throughout the city. So we don't set the tax rates, which is what is driving which is ultimately what drives your tax bill. Our job is to just fairly assess everyone over the city so their houses are representative of market value.
Right.
I understand the relationship and I know how things work. I'm not tone deaf on that,
But,
but
like-
that's not what we're here for.
But like living in the worst house on the block, which is kind of my scenario, it's, you know, the least cared for and the least maintained. If you walk up and down my block, you'll be able to see that. So having a comparable tax rate or assessment based on everybody else's houses who are really, really nice, my house just isn't at that level. It can be, and it might be someday, but it's not there. So to have to kind of disperse my assessment of my home compared to all the wonderful, beautiful houses in my neighborhood and my streets, it's just, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, a way, again, to just, I don't make it affordable for myself, because it's only me. That's it. It's me and my daughter. So I bought this house. I apologize.
You did the right thing as far as purchasing is concerned.
I just don't know. Just don't want to be afraid to not be able to afford it.
Yep, I get that.
Or and all that? Is that-
That would be through the state for her, so she'd have to contact.
What I mean is, can you tell if it's?
I can't tell, no.
I mean, there's like no, you know, your taxes are what your taxes are. You get your star savings and that's it. I don't get anything else. So,
Do you know did you apply for the STAR? Okay, all right. And so based on when you purchased it, it'll come into play later on this year as far as an actual check is concerned. But again, we understand where you're coming from. Home ownership is absolutely the way to go. So you did not make the wrong move. But, you know, you're juggling a lot of things for sure.
yeah, thank you for understanding. It is a big juggle, you know, and to have, you know, a tax bill that was, I don't know, my last house was $2,600 a year. And then to go here, it's, my taxes are almost $6,000 a year. That's a lot for someone on my salary, and I'm making it work. I'm trying to make it work, but just, you know, when your assessed value goes up, you know your taxes are going to go up. And I know they don't have anything to do with it. You know, the assessment office has nothing to do with it. They say that's all the state, that's the state, that's the state. But I just want to put that out there. This is the whole reason I'm here today. And it's not that I care about my assessment going up $6,000. And it's probably not going to make a huge difference for taxes, but like every dollar, I'm trying to budget and save. So, yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't want to be able to not afford it.
45, Jay? Based on the work Avni did?
No, this would be an equalization change. 45 would only be if there was work be done.
Well, there was work done. I mean, Avni took it from gutted.
Right, but the assessment would have to be, I mean, that would be something, if it was like a structural thing, then we should have been, typically we should be aware of that prior to the work being done. In order, like, I have no way of determining what the base assessment could be and what the condition of the house was prior to the sale.
What was the increase? Was it $6,000?
Yeah, so 2025 was 108 assessed value, and then 2026 was 114 assessed value. So an
I mean, I can look
increase
into
of
that more if
6,000.
you'd like, but I don't know how I would be able to determine what the condition of the house was prior to, and what work was done. And it's just, that's why we tell people, you know, it's why it's best when, when you do work like that to notify us, or if the assessment was, you know.
Let's, we'll submit those pictures if you would
I will.
by Friday, and then once we start deliberating, they'll be in the file, and then we'll go over that information good, and we'll see if Joe will take a peek at the pictures as well.
Thank you.
So anyway, we'll give a good overview, but again, nothing to get upset about. You definitely did the right thing. With rents the way they are, you absolutely did the right thing as far as purchase is concerned.
Thank you.
So just saying.
Okay, thank you so much.
The good news is that the city is telling you it's worth more than you paid for. So you've got a balance.
And it's like I got first time home buyers grant to get the house. Sorry, to get the house, and I have to keep possession of the house for 5 years.
Oh, right.
So,
Was it
you know,
5 years, did you say?
5 years.
5 years.
I have to at least live in it
That
for
was
5
'cause you
years.
received a grant.
The grant to move into the house. So, you know, it's like, well, if I got priced out of the house and had to sell it, it's like, and I don't want to. I want to live there for 5 years. I love the street. It's beautiful. So, but I'm just saying, if this became unaffordable for me and then I was forced to sell it, you know, there's penalties with that. So I'm stuck here. I'm not stuck. I love it. I don't feel like I'm stuck, but I'm trying to make this affordable for me. And that's the only reason, you know, that's why I'm here today. So anyway, yeah, that's everything I have, and I'll send pictures of what I've got.
I used to own the house at 137, 139, which is right next to you.
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah,
Yeah, he's a great guy.
yeah. They're wonderful.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And then the house next door to me, that was completely renovated before they purchased it. They have like 4 bedrooms and 3 baths, and they paid a lot of money for their house. And my house is like, I feel like I paid a lot of money for my house, and it has none of that. You know, everything is up to me to renovate. So, you know, it's a long, I don't know. We're painting, that's what we're doing, so. But anyway, I will send you all the pictures of everything, and how the status of the house is right now.
Yeah, it'll all work out. Have you met Steve?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's a good person.
Yeah.
And he's got his tenant upstairs. She's wonderful too. Yeah, they're good.
It'll be fine.
Thank you.
Okay, and then after we review everything, the city will send you a notice first week of April.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for hearing me.
Yes, thank you. Joe, thank you very much. Michelle, that's it for today? Okay, so that's the last hearing for today. Thank you very much, and we'll be in session tomorrow, Wednesday, the 18th of February, from 5 o'clock until 8 o'clock p.m. Thank you.